I stopped closing the door. I never locked my bedroom door. Not because I was brave, it just never seemed necessary. I lived alone. The building was old and quiet. Locks clicked too loudly, and the silence after the click always felt unnatural. Like you just told someone exactly where you were. That night, I didn't close the door either. I went to bed around 1 in the morning. My phone was dead. The lights were off. The room wasn't completely dark. A street lamp outside leaked through the curtains, leaving a pale stripe on the wall. It was enough to make out shapes. I was almost asleep when I heard it. Not footsteps. Not a creak. Breathing. At first, I thought it was my own. Sometimes your breathing sounds louder than usual when you're drifting off. I listened. Held my breath. The sound didn't stop. It was coming from the hallway. Very steady. Very calm. Like whoever was breathing wasn't in a hurry. I lay there staring at the doorway. The darkness beyond it felt thicker than the darkness in my room. A minute passed. Then another. The breathing got closer. Still no footsteps. No rustling. Just the sound, fuller now. Closer. I had the overwhelming feeling that something was standing in the doorway, though I couldn't see a shape. Just pressure. The kind you feel when someone steps into an elevator behind you. I whispered, "Who's there?" The breathing didn't change. I pulled the blanket up to my chin and closed my eyes. A childish reaction. Embarrassing. But the mind works differently when fear takes over. It doesn't look for escape, only delay. When I opened my eyes again, the doorway was darker than it should have been. The light from the street lamp didn't reach it. The darkness was dense. And it was breathing. I stared, afraid to blink. Seconds stretched thin. Then the shadow leaned forward slightly. I knew it was looking at me, even without eyes. That was when the breathing changed. It grew deeper. Like I had been noticed. I screamed, or tried to. My throat locked up. My body wouldn't respond. Not paralysis exactly, something else. As if I had forgotten how to move. The shadow didn't come closer. It just stood there and breathed. And somehow I understood, it wasn't waiting for me to move. It was waiting for me to get used to it. I don't know how long it lasted. I might have passed out. I woke up in the morning in my bed. The door was closed. Locked. I checked the apartment. Everything was normal. No signs. No smells. No trace of anyone else. I told myself it was sleep paralysis. A classic explanation. Convenient. But the next night, I woke up to the sound of a lock. A soft metallic click. From the hallway. I already knew, if I got up and checked, it would only get worse. So I stayed still and stared at the door. It slowly began to open. Just enough to reveal the darkness behind it. And the breathing. This time, it was inside my room. That's when I realized the problem wasn't the door. And it wasn't whether it was locked or not. The problem was that I noticed it. After that, it came every night. Not always at the same time. Sometimes I'd wake up and immediately know it was there. Other times I'd hear the breathing first, then realize I hadn't been asleep for a long time. It never touched me. Never spoke. Until one night, I heard something new. Very quiet. Almost gentle. It was my voice. It said my name from the hallway, with the same tone I use inside my own head. No emotion. No threat. Just checking. Since then, I don't lock the door anymore. A locked door is an invitation to stay on the other side. When it's open. Sometimes it doesn't come in. Sometimes. It's night now. I'm typing this in the dark. The breathing is close. It's starting to sound like mine. And if I stop typing, you probably understand why. Because the door is still open.